You know, anyone compiling examples of the pompous, arrogant, sophistic blindness to property rights exhibited by many people running the halls of so-called U.S. justice now can add another to their ever-expanding list of these examples. This time, it's from San Francisco. And this time, it's from the lips of none other than the San Francisco District Attorney, who's willingly taken on the mantle of the city's top prosecutor of criminals and crime. Go figure. When you hear this, you'll know he's a left collectivist. Greetings, comrades. I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV, and this story comes to us via lawofficer.com and a few other pretty interesting websites. LawOfficer.com reports that San Francisco District Attorney Chesa Boudin already has prejudiced the case against the infamous Walgreens shoplifter who was caught on video in mid-June as he packed a trash bag full of products off the Walgreens shelves, then hopped on his expensive-looking mountain bike and rode out of the store completely untroubled. Law Officer referred to a gushing New Yorker interview in which Boudin, the child of leftist 60s radicals, offered all kinds of excuses for the suspect. Quote, "When I watch that video, I think about 5 questions that people are not asking that I think they should. Is he drug addicted, mentally ill, desperate? Is he part of a major retail fencing operation? What's driving this behavior? And is it in any way representative because it was presented as something symptomatic?" End quote. How about, did the suspect commit the crime of property theft, Mr. District Attorney? You know, that seems a much more pertinent question here, especially for those people who were actually robbed. Supposedly, the government exists to protect people from being robbed or defrauded, another form of robbery, or physically harmed. But Boudin goes on, offering excuses and equivalencies and what might actually be seen as indirect threats. Quote, "If Walgreens has insurance for certain goods, or they expect a certain amount of loss, if they would rather not risk lawsuits or escalation to violence, then maybe that's something we should know about." Why? Again, the question from a fundamental natural law standpoint, Mr. Boudin, is whether the state is going to fulfill its supposed rationale for existence and prosecute someone for committing property theft, period. Why are those other facets of Walgreens' business structure in any way things about which anyone should know? And why does Boudin issue what could be perceived as a threat? Why does Boudin, the son of leftist radical David Gilbert, who by the way went to prison for his involvement in the 1981 crime that took 3 lives in New York State, and the son of Weather Underground member Kathy Boudin, who pled guilty to felony murder in connection to the same triple homicide and also pled guilty to robbery, why does this man, this district attorney, talk about an escalation to violence simply for Walgreens staking its claim to property rights? The reason is because collectivists don't recognize private property rights. All property, in their eyes, should be in the hands of the state, to be divvied up according to the ruler's view of equity. In the mold of tired and tiresome Marxist hypocrisy, Boudin discounts and dismisses peace and respect for property, even as he derives his livelihood off the fruits of what property rights and free trade facilitate. He shows absolute contempt for market exchange, and then he coughs up excuses upon seeing the video of this crime, a video of a crime perpetrated in his city against his neighbors, the very people who are forced to pay his salary. Perhaps likening that taxation to pay his salary, perhaps likening it to theft of property, is not so much of a stretch. Perhaps Mr. Boudin's comments offer a clear window to recognize the fact that government, the very entity that we're told is there to protect property from aggression, is actually the ultimate machine of theft and aggression, and that Mr. Boudin has settled into a comfortable position as one of its major lever pullers and parasites. The shoplifter might yet be prosecuted for his theft of private property, but Boudin's income it's considered legal theft. And insults are provided to boot. Just in case you were wondering, San Franciscans, they're the two big characteristics of government: theft and contempt for the people who have to pay their taxes. Key points to remember, everybody. Thanks for the lesson, Mr. Budin. We'll be watching and seeing your progress. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Remember, if you get the opportunity, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Check us out at Rumble. It's a great new site, and all our videos are being loaded there. And of course, you can always find us at MRCTV.org. Hey, if you have the opportunity as well, go to shop.mrc.org, because you can pick up some great MRC items, get them as gifts for people. There's an amazing array of items there. And of course, it helps the Media Research Center. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.